for Chemo Buddies for Life. Her name is Noelle Agape. Noelle Agape is today on April the 15th, what many used to call Tax Day. Not so much today in these days, in the days of what we call the pandemic. It is slightly a different world. We're going to talk about that today. And Noelle has been contacted to help us exactly in this world to be able to heal through it, get to the other side, and get back to our lives. So I want to say, welcome, Noelle. It's great to see you, my friend.
Hi, honey. How are you? It's great to be on. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It's always so, and I'm going to make sure we've got, because I will say, it's amazing time we're living in. We've got all the interesting stuff going on. One of which we're all sharing the internet bandwidth, and we have to make sure that everything is kind of going smoothly. We do have John Duffy with us.
Hey, John. How
Hey,
are you?
John, it's great to see you here, and we have Raquel
Hey,
Johnson. Now,
Raquel.
let me say, John Duffy is actually going to be sharing the spotlight with you today on this day. He is show number 2 in 2 hours. So, those that want to be able to have a double dose of inspiration today, tune in at noon Pacific, 3 o'clock Eastern to meet John and see what he's up to in the front lines and helping to spotlight
Okay.
those in the front lines. We have Carol Brown, always a
Ariel, how are
pleasure.
you?
And we have Steve Smith from Sarasota, Florida. Real welcome. And let's clear it up. You're typically in my state. You're typically in the Golden State of California. You're typically in the county that I grew up in, and now you've adopted as your home, San Diego County. But today, where are you?
I am in Pennsylvania since the quarantine started because I'm here with my mom and just taking care of my family and making sure she's in her winter and a little bit older, and so making sure she's okay and regrouping and getting centered here for myself as well. But far away from my children, so it has not been an easy journey. It's been on it. Oh, those are my babies a long time ago, but now they're teenagers. Those amazing, beautiful girls. But yeah, I mean, we're all doing the best we can. I FaceTime them every day, and I see them every day, and I'm taking care of my mom and her husband, and cooking every night, and keeping sane. I'm hiking through the woods and to do, eating clean and doing me right, just on a different level. So adjusting and pivoting and breathing and stopping and kind of refocusing is what I've had to do for sure.
Okay, Stephen is asking for you to speak up a bit.
Okay.
Maybe get your if you have your mic there, maybe move your mic closer to you, uh, then so that they can hear you. And we'll do a sound check. And Stephen, when we start going again, please let us know if that works or if she needs to turn it up or get it closer again. Thank you for that. And John is saying, two great, beautiful women doing positive things. Thank you. So are you. All right, so let's catch everybody up to who you are, because not everybody may know. There are quite a few that do, because you're so involved in so many of the circles that I'm involved with. You have helped us with Chemo Buddies for Life. You're very involved in the Misfit Nation. You also were one of the next impactors in the final, up to the very finals, and the sound is good. Okay, good. Thank you, John. And you guys are going to understand the significance of hearing that from John when you tune in the next show. I hear you fine. Thank you, Carol. Thank you. And Carol, as you know, was very involved with our 36-hour give-a-thon, of which you were one of the leaders for, and that too. And you actually went live and gave us so much valuable information. And that's actually what we're going to speak about, is what your expertise is all, what Noelle Agape is all about. Because guys, just hold on to your chairs, because this beautiful woman has a brain and a heart, and she's got two. You talk about someone that's got two distinct different sides. This woman absolutely does, and she knows how to utilize both of them in a way to affect good. And so you very, very well educated. You went to school, and first you went into the sciences, correct?
Yeah, yeah. My degrees are in counseling psychology, and then from there I went to study NLP, which is neuro linguistic programming, and then I became a trainer, and I actually trained the trainers on that, and then from there I actually studied quantum physics, and basically became a quantum energy trainer, and so I started at psychology and went all the way through to the quantum field and teach about energy and the dynamics of uh, epigenetics and biochemistry and what's going on with your body and your mind and connecting the mind and body and really truly understanding on an energetic level what's going on with you, from, like I said, biochemically to basically just understanding your brain, your mind, and your body at the same time. So yeah, I have been in school for probably half of my life, and
For a few days.
just a little bit, and use all of that to bring good into the world. And it's never about me, or it's never about my gifts or my education. It's about what I can do and how I can bring that and change humanity, right?
Right, absolutely. And I will attest to that because let me tell you guys, this woman surprised the heck out of me during our 36-hour give-a-thon. By the time she came on, I had been on camera over a 24-hour period. I think I was somewhere in the 30s by then. And yes, for those of you that don't know, yes, I was live the whole time. I took a few minutes off when Christopher Kaysen was kind enough to give me a clip because he was traveling halfway across the world and he didn't know if he'd have streaming media for his period of time that he wanted to do the healing through art. And other than that, I was on like this the whole time. And so by the time Noelle came on to talk about all of this and to give to those that were watching, she gave to me. You sprung an amazing experience on me. I'll never forget. I still to this day see it, I go back there because what you are able to do with people, it's not a one-time deal. You really helped me when I need that kind of a moment in time to say, okay, let's do this. Let's go back into that space. So why don't you talk about a little bit what you did?
Uh, so I teach meditation, and what I did was I actually grounded you back into your body, and I connected you to your highest self, and you went on a journey and saw your future self and connected to the energy of that, and and then I brought you back in, and it integrated it back into your reality. I guess your reality.
Yeah, my reality. I like that. And we all have that reality going on. And that's what we're talking
Yeah,
about today,
reality.
guys. We're talking that we're all in a reality together and follow us with this because this is what's going on is pretty significant right now, what we're going to be sharing. And I believe it's so hopeful. It's so wonderful what's happening. And but back to that, I will say that, and that was all on camera, guys. That was all on camera. Yes, she had me closing my eyes, and yes, she did take me on a little journey, and yes, you all got to see it who were there. You got to see the whole face, you got to hold the thing, and then when I when she brought me back, I my screen that I run this show from, it's like a little mini sound booth, if you will, from a TV station. If anybody that's ran one of these things, and it's quite interesting. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. Anybody that wants, likes to learn, it's a fun thing. But when you're coming out of something like this, and you're seeing this light, and you're connecting with yourself and everything, and then all of a sudden you open it up. When I went back and watched it, it was like I had the most surprised look on my face, like, where am I?
You fully integrated the process, which was beautiful actually. And so it was, what really happened was we just captured the real you within you. And so it was beautiful and amazing, and I'm sorry I threw it on you, but it was so good because it was so pure that the world can actually see the truth of what happens during the process. So
Exactly. And I'm glad, you know me, that I'm totally open to that, and thank you for knowing me well enough that it would be totally okay. And it's, totally, I gave full permission on, total disclosure, guys. We don't usually spring stuff on people if you come on unless we know that you're going to be fine with it. And I always tell everybody, okay, I'm game. So, just a little, a little explanation there. I want to just say that so glad to have caught the live broadcast. Ladies, you're awesomeness. Thank you, Stephen. And I love it when people are acknowledging everybody that comes in. Thank you for doing that, because this is our show. Service Heroes was designed to be a show to support those people that are affected by cancer. And now, I went live again because we all right now are in this thing we call our reality on. That's why I've been dating the shows. Rather, I used to give them numbers, but I'm dating them right now so we can go back to say, okay, on April 15th, 2020, what was happening in the world? And be able to look and see, because I'm really big about history. You'll be able to see what was happening and what was so significant about this day. Well, we went live. I went live because of our mutual coach, Coach Jason Cisneros, one night when he was doing his what is going on with the thing that shall not be named. When he was having one of his lives, he said, okay, anybody that's had a show that may not be doing it right now, we need you to engage. This is the time to either show up or shut up. And I thought, okay, tomorrow I will start back up, because I had gone on a hiatus because I was concentrating more on Chemo Buddies for Life after winning the next Impactor. And I thought, okay, I need to show up and be there to help share the good news stories, yet the real stories, because we have to be able to say what is going on and then what are we doing about it and paint that picture. I want to acknowledge that we have Dr. Giuliani back in the house today. Thank you for being here, Dr. Giuliani. And we highlighted him yesterday coming in. He is a man that I truly respect and honor, and we need to have you on to share what you're doing. But he is bringing back the idea that we should have feel-good, family-oriented type cinema on a worldwide basis and say, you know what, we need good stories in the cinema too, in our feature films. And that is his mission, that to bring back the family entertainment. And he's done that with an international family. Well, I think he's put a link here for it. So stories in regards to it. So I respect that a lot. We have Anne with us. Anne, good to see you. Way to go. To you too for being here. And, I'm glad I make you smile, because we all need to smile. And we're going to bring that up in a moment with our dear, and I can say this because I've said it before and she's been okay with it. We've got a science person that also has a lot of woo-woo going on, and she's known how to combine the two in a way that makes a difference in our world. And so, I love it that, again, that everybody is saying hello to everyone. And so, okay, now let's get into it. We've painted the picture of who you are. And in fact, I met you. It's kind of funny, guys. This is how the world works. When you're meant to meet someone, the world is going to figure out a way to do it. Here, this woman literally lives down the street from me, not more than an hour. And in my neck of the woods, in our neck of the woods, SoCal, California, that's close. So she lives close, yet I met her through a worldwide competition, the next Impactor, and actually met her face to face the very first time in Chicago. And then the second time I visited with her, it wasn't in SoCal, California, it was in Florida.
Yeah, we actually, for whatever reason, we don't meet in California. We just, we have to travel all over the world to see each other.
or have experiences like this. And I'm painting this picture right now, guys, for a reason. We are in lockdown, and we're going to be going into this, but we're in lockdown, but we're not locked down. And I like that a lot of people are starting to reframe. And and we'll talk about reframing, but a lot of people have started reframing that we're not social distancing, we're physical distancing. Socially, we can come together. And I am seeing more people coming together and being more creative. And you have to be proactive these days to want, it's not as easy as it used to be. And you have to want it. But when you want something, you put your heart and soul into it. And so here we are finding ways to connect. And so with your science, your credentials, you take everything you do very serious. And so, you have a TV show that you film it. Thank you for having me on it before, and I'm so impressed how you handle it. Me, I do it this way. I'm pretty proud of the fact I can at least maneuver around in my little studio and I can do it. However, I produce it here, I put it out there, and then I go on to the next one. Noelle, she films, she sends it to an editor or production team. They correct it in all sorts of different ways, and then it goes out there in multiple platforms. That's one thing that you really take it serious. Well, your credentials, you can either have the certifications and you can put it up on your wall, and yay, that's nice, it's been framed, there you go, that's as framed as it's gonna get, right? Well, then there's those that take it serious. You have taken yours serious, and you've registered yourself, you've done all those things. So kind of let's bring that through, because this is good. Trust me, guys, we're going somewhere. So let's talk about that.
Well, again, everything that I do is with intent, and my intent is my why really is truly 100%. It is to make global impact and leave a legacy for my two daughters, right? And so those are my two whys, without question. First is my daughters and my family, and second is to make global impact. And I have been given these gifts, and I say all the time, and you and I know, we're both super spiritual, is that these are not my gifts, right? These gifts come from through me, and I'm a vessel. And so all of my licenses, all of my credentials, all of the hard work that I've done on the back end with the schooling, it would be useless if it was just for my ego and to hang on the wall or to say this, right? And so the only reason why I've done all of that is to bring it out into the world to help others. And so I am a licensed counselor. I'm a neurolinguistics trainer. I train people on understanding the mind and mind mapping, and I'm a quantum energy trainer. So I train on epigenetics and the body and the mind body connection, and I'm a health and wellness counselor. So I take all of that and to bring it to people so they could have clarity with their body, they could have clarity with their mind, so they can actually become the best version of themselves and move it to I teach what I do to them so they can bring it out to humanity and bring their gifts to the world. And so my gifts are never mine, is how I always say it.
Right. And so in that, you've then registered yourself. Not everybody does this, but you've registered yourself in such a way that that you've had yourself fingerprinted. You've made sure that yeah, your licenses are up to date. You have registered yourself to say, okay, I take this serious. Anybody that checks into me will see that I do take this serious. I'm willing to be vetted. I'm willing to say, I am legit. I am the real deal. And not everybody is willing to always put themselves in those registries, and you have, correct?
I have mostly because I have to, because with my licenses and stuff, but and because I choose to, because I am who I am. But there are so many people out there that are frauds or fakes, right? And the reality is
Right.
that you can go online and get any certification that you want, but the reality is that if it's legit, then you shouldn't have to hide anything, right? And so, and with me,
Right.
it's that you look into the registry and find all my licenses and credentials, right? And because primarily
Right.
because I have to, but to practice, but also because why wouldn't you not? Right?
Well, and I'm saying this because we're painting the picture, and in truth, and I explained to you because, I was like, okay, this is, and what you were talking about is like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Because guys, I don't know if you all know, but for 18 years, I was a recruiter headhunter, and that was my world. And so when we go into this next phase here with what we're going to speak about, it was like, okay, yes, that makes a lot of sense, because they went in to look to see who is credentialed. And so you got a call recently, didn't you? Or you were contacted recently,
Mm-hmm.
weren't you?
Mm-hmm.
let's let's talk about that, because this is the here and now, guys, and this happened just in the last little bit. And this is letting you know what is happening in our world. And I'm going to just paint a little bit more of a picture in that today, on April 15th, I was made aware of there's a lot of stress that's going on now. We've been in lockdown for so long. People are starting to blow up a bit. People are saying, do we really need to be, does it really need to look like this? Why is it happening like this? I woke up to my own home where I had one of my own family members saying basically the same thing, because it's now at a pain point for, like, with bills and life and such. It's like, okay, now what decisions do I need to make personally to go forward? And am I going to be, is it going to be within my integrity? What does my life look like coming, like, out of this? Because now it's at a point where it's getting very painful for those that possibly have not been medically affected. They've now been affected in other ways, and they're starting to reach out and say, wait a minute, what is this, what's going on here? And so you were proactively contacted to get involved, right?
Yeah. Yes, I was actually yesterday. And so within the last 24 hours, I got contacted by the state of California to actually to offer my services, which they said that I'm a medical practitioner, that in California, the state of California is in need of medical practitioners. And so they want me to help with the coronavirus, basically use my counseling skills as well as my health and wellness skills to do health and wellness training and counseling. And because I'm in Pennsylvania, they asked me if I wanted to work remotely, but ultimately I will be working with the U.S. government and to working remotely with people in the health and wellness aspect of it, and also in the psychology and the counseling, and helping with the emotional aspect of it as well.
Which, okay, and I'm being completely vulnerable, not stating who or anything, but this is affecting everyone now. And you know it might surprise some, but anybody that knows me won't be surprised. I can be a taskmaster at times, and I locked down my home. I did. We have. She's laughing because she's been in our leadership meetings, and guys, yeah, because if you're building something, you need to be, like, driven, and you need to understand and have that goal, and you need to educate yourself. And so when all of this happened, I have, within my, under my roof, I feel responsible for myself, who is a survivor of cancer. Yes, I have someone in my home right now that is immunocompromised in a major way currently and being tested for it. That is something real. We've got a variety of different places, and then it's a bigger place. And so we have put in rules. We have rules for, we have a wash station. We took the furniture out of the entry. We made a wash station area. And and we have the shoe area, and you spray, and then you have to go and you have to clean your clothes. I mean, we have rules. And because we got to, and I talked about this briefly yesterday, but you need to be able to not be alarmed and overwhelmed, but take control in a common sense way. And so we went with, okay, this is what they're saying to do. We'll do it, and we'll get through it. Well, to wake up this morning to something that I couldn't have prepared for. And it was interesting that we had already scheduled this. And I'm in California. And so, yes, this is all relevant, guys. That one of the family members that is a younger person, uh, is just doesn't know, like, upside down life, like started saying things that I would never have expected to come out of this person's mouth. Like, okay, if it wasn't for my belief systems, I might do something really not so good. And that has to be something that many people are facing right now, is that total despair, that total, what in the heck am I going to do now? This is completely out of my control. I'm looking at possibly, if I go do this, I'm looking at possibly, a life cut short because of being, not being common sense and taking care of what I need to do and being irresponsible, or my life as I had been working and divine, had been working on a plan, and he had been working his plan. My life may look completely different, and I don't know how I'm going to handle that right now. That is a very, I mean, but there's still a roof over the head and everything like that. But that's a little snippet. And I thought, it's got to be so much worse for so many people right now because they're feeling that desperateness. And so the fact that that the state of California, and you were saying that this is a big program that they're reaching out to a lot of people because they're aware that this is going on, right?
Yes, correct. And it's the government, with anyone that is a medical practitioner, they're calling all angels in, basically, right? And they're just saying, we need help, and there is not enough help for the people that are actually in the hospitals, or the nurses, or the people. And I honor the people that have been on the front line for the both
Mm-hmm.
Maryland. And for me, it was a no-brainer. Yes, I have these
Mm-hmm.
credentials. Yes, I have these licenses. Yes, we're in a state of emergency in globally. This is a pandemic around the world, and
Right.
my entire life is global impact. And how I don't want, I could stay small and just do a practice and counsel one person, or train another person, or I could train groups of people, or I could do this at the level that I'm needed at. And what's very interesting is I wake up on a daily basis and I say, okay, God, universe, tell me how I could be used today, right? And again, when I say these are not my gifts, they're not my gifts. And so if you
Right.
have the capability to help in any way, please do, because these are not yours to hoard, right? And so if a gift has been given to you and you're not using
Mm-hmm.
it, then you're doing a disservice to not only yourself, but you're doing a disservice to everybody in this world, really.
And thank you for sharing that, because we know a lot of people within the group that we have for the nonprofit that would fit in this category. And calling all angels, I love that. Calling all angels, angels here on earth, because right now this is a time in our existence that we've been talking about this a lot on the Service Hero show, is that we can either say, okay, I'm just going to give up, or we can say, I can do this. And whatever it is that you can do it. And right now, with the fact that there are so many, I mean, in one state, I won't go into which one, but you guys can turn on the news and you'll see which one. You've got people that are in their cars around that state capital, beeping and like making a social, a disturbance, saying, okay, we want your attention. We need help here. We need the angels to show up. We need those people that can help us through this. They need, and we need to look at it in a lot of different ways, but you know, there's so many different aspects. We have the, opening, and we're not going to go into all of it, but it's like there is a lot of stress in regards to this. And so those people right now, those people that are saying, okay, this is good. We've painted the picture. We understand it's happening. I'm feeling it too. What can I do about it right now? So those people that are watching and they know someone, or they themselves are saying, I'm there now. I didn't know that I would get there, but I'm feeling that stress right now. My stomach's starting to be worried. we're supposed to social distance and we're supposed to shelter in place. I don't even know if I'm going to have shelter, and I don't even know that I could go into my car because my car might be repossessed, whatever it may be. And, and I'm sure we're put it out there, the intention. I want some people to come on that are going to address these issues. How do we get through those and onto the Service Hero Show? But for right now, the psychological, the emotional, the physical, the mental, how can people that are dealing with these real life issues right now be able to refuel their jets, if you will, so then they can go out there to find the solutions to not have these things happen, to be able to take care of themselves and their families. They have to start internally first, right?
Yes, yes, and I truly believe that this is a great reset, right? And so we have been put on pause for a reason, and there's so much going on in life that take this opportunity to reconnect with you. And when I say reconnect with you, open your blinds, and if you can't get outside, which some people can't, open your windows. I try to go for a walk every day because I'm in the middle of the woods and there's nobody around, right? And I exercise every single day. I'm eating clean. I meditate every single day more than I have. I connect on a higher level. I'm spending time with my family, even though my children are in California and I'm in Pennsylvania. I'm FaceTiming them every single day, sometimes a couple times a day. I mean, when they have something that they want to share with me, when they're writing something or doing a project, they FaceTime me. And so we have the ability to connect, right? And
Right.
even though it's not in a physical way, what I believe this is just a great, beautiful message from the universe saying, just reset and go within. And our pollution has gone down. Our health may have not gone up more, but if we looked inside of ourselves and said, hey, where was our life broken before this pandemic? What can we do to fix this? What can we do to change who I am as a person so I can bring that greater version of myself out of this pandemic into the world when I come out? And what fears did I have? What is holding me back? What anger? Why am I in this space, right? And if you need help, reach out. There are so many reasons or places that you can get help nowadays. I mean, I'm working
Mm-hmm.
remotely. My business has shifted, right? I run retreats for a living as well as travel around the world. I'm not traveling around the world, but what am I doing? I'm on the phone I'm all day, every day. I'm on a Zoom call. I'm doing something to connect with others. And so you are loved. You are love, and you are
Mm-hmm.
health, and you are wellness. You just have to tap into that. And when you get to that space where you don't feel like the world is against you, the world is not happening to you, the world is happening with you. Take this as a time to find you, truly find you. And if you need help doing that, reach out and get help because it's available for you.
And that's where I wanted to go. Thank you. Exactly. Because, that's, in fact, before going live, I went on to see, okay, what is it? What is it that people can tap into? And there are resources out there. And you need to, yes, sometimes you got to be a little proactive, guys. You need to say, all right, yes, I will I will find that center. I will. And yesterday we talked about unplugging, and you're basically saying the same thing. Take that walk, open up the blinds if you can't go outside, take the time to meditate. And we were talking about connecting with people. You may not be able to do the old-fashioned connection. However, then if you're plugged in, but plug it in to connect with those that you love, not necessarily checking the news or watching Netflix or something. And yet, when I went, before going on, I wanted to see, all right, what is there? What is there that people can do? There are resources out there. There are. And the fact that they're being proactive. Think about this. I thought about this deeply when I saw your post, and then I connected with you, and thank you for coming on today so quickly, because it was like, think about the steps that were taken to get Noelle here today to say, yes, I'll do this. They had to come up with the plan. They had to hire or reshift energy and employees and people to make those outbound, first do the research, find those people that are on these logs, that have registered, that are solid. She's done the work. That's why we painted the picture with the credentials. She's been willing to every year update everything that needs to be done and keep herself in a, if you will, clean situation, or that she is authentic and real. So she's done that work. Then they found those lists. Then they proactively needed to go out there and contact these people, let them know what the programs are, see if they're willing to help to make the difference. That's proactiveness in and this is the state of California that some people are like, oh yeah, that state along with some of the other states, yeah, we know that state.
The
Uh-huh.
surfers, right? We're the surfers, right?
Yeah, uh-huh, uh-huh. Thank you, state of California. Thank you, the federal government. Wherever these programs came from, I want to recognize the fact that you see the need and that you're being proactive now rather than waiting like during, I'm a history buff, thinking about some other times in our history when maybe they weren't as proactive to help mentally and emotionally and physically and financially people to get through it before they start throwing themselves off buildings. Free from that. But it's like, all right, they're being proactive, and you said yes, and so you're still waiting to see how this is going to look. Yet there are others that I'm sure are waiting, like don't wait for the phone call. If you're in a state where you've got this kind of experience, you know, do you know what department called you?
It was the Civil Services Department.
Okay, Civil Services Department. So I would suggest to anybody that has these type of credentials and you are open to helping too, let's be proactive, guys. That's what this is all about. This is all of us working together to make the world, our communities, a better place. And and again, I am also putting it out there. Anybody that's working with any of the state or local or federal governments that are helping with things like unemployment insurance, all any of the fiscal kind of programs, let's get you on here and let's talk about it. I see. Let's see. Nazar is saying, "Hi, what software are you using for FaceTime Live?" I am using an app called BeLive TV, BeLive.tv. And so, as you know, I know that you are there with your mom, and I want to just paint another picture because of the fact that some people may say, well, yeah, I understand that your parents are, but why would you go? There's a family history that people may not understand, and I just do want to say thank you again for being as loving of a family member as you are, because sometimes we have to sacrifice for those that are in our stewardship, and you are a devoted mom. You are one of the most devoted mothers that I know, and so much so, the guys that she's a volunteer, but she'll do things, but we have to always look what is it that she's doing with her kids first to make sure that it works with the timing, and I have always respected that so much about you. And it was important enough for you to make this hard decision because you needed to be there with your mom and your family there. Why don't you just share a little bit about that too? Because some of us are in situations that we too are making personal sacrifices in behalf of those we love. And validation is huge. And I want to be able to validate those others that are out there and say, thank you for serving, because you're service heroes. And this is a service hero activity when we are saying, okay, we're in a 911 situation. This is a unique period of time, and I'm going to go and serve another. So, why don't you share that a little bit?
Well, I think it's just about opening your horizons a little bit, right? And my kids are the most important people in this. I mean, they're my favorite humans on the planet, right? I truly do have this amazing relationship with them, and we laugh and we play and we learn together, and we're on this journey together, and they're safe with their dad. and they have a beautiful life, and their dad is amazing, and he's an incredible father, and he's taking care of them. And my philosophy, and I say this all the time to them since they're born, because I've been divorced from my ex-husband for most of their life, but we have an amazing co-parent relationship. We do everything together. We're at every soccer game together, every parent vacation. We just didn't do well as partners married, but we are amazing co-parents. And so during this time, it's just not me, it's him as well. I have to give him credit and honor him because he's taking care of the kids. My daughters are teenagers. The pictures that you showed were beautiful, but they were older kids,
Right.
right? And so they're old enough to understand that there's time when we could be separated and it's okay. And from the day that they've been born, I say the love is in your heart. It's not the physical love, right? And I don't believe in separation. I don't believe in any of that stuff. And I teach my children from a very young age that, there are going to be times where we're physically together, but emotionally and energetically, we're never apart, ever.
Right.
And so if
Right.
I have to go off, whether now it's taking care of myself and my mom and my family here in Pennsylvania, or going off to Bali and running a retreat, it's
Right.
they're okay with that because they're so secure with the love that I have for them. And I get to have this beautiful time with my mom, right? I'm cooking dinner with her every single night. She's taking care of me as much as I'm taking care of her. And
Mhm.
her and her husband and I, we're bonding and we're laughing. And there's not very many times in the last 15 years of our lives, because we have, all of the grandchildren usually there, or the sisters and this is a time in my mom's winter when I get to spend time alone with her, and I get to cultivate a relationship with her, and she gets to give me her recipes, and we break out the baby pictures and we laugh together about old things. And so, we went on a walk together the other day, Easter Sunday night, right after we had dinner. We cooked dinner together, and we were laughing, and we just said, gosh, when was the last time that we cooked dinner together, right? Just my mom and I. And then her husband took a nap after dinner, and her and I went for this beautiful walk, and we just connected with each other, just the two of us. And right now, that's what God and the universe are telling me, is that I need to connect with my mom and her husband and my children. I'm still connecting with on a daily basis. I'm still FaceTiming them. I'm still, we literally, I did a project with my daughter for 45 minutes via FaceTime the other day, right? And so
Yeah, homeschool, right?
it wasn't just school, but like even she was putting stickers on her computer, and she wanted to know which stickers would look better, so she FaceTimed me. And so it's not the energy of separation ever. And if I could say anything to anybody through this whole situation, the fear that you have of not connecting, the fear that you have of being in isolation, that's only within you, because there really is no separation and there is no isolation. It's just a disconnect between you and your highest self. And when you are grounded, and when you are in a place that you can love yourself and love others so much that you don't need to be physically attached to them, that's when it's a healthy state of being. And that's what I've taught my children from day one.
That's beautiful. Beautiful.
Thank
There
you.
you go. And how valuable that information is right there. That's priceless right now, because so many, and it's just like those that are reframing me. And I watched a particular college that has really engaged in getting out on their basketball court. There's no basketball right now, but they're utilizing that basketball court, and they're saying, okay, we are now producing, we've made these alliances, and we're producing these, the gowns that are needed for the hospital workers and the masks, and they're bringing in, the college students, and they're doing the physical distancing. He said, we're not doing social distancing. We are doing physical distancing, and we're teaching our college students right now, real time, what is it that college is all about? What is education all about? What is life all about? We need to be right now finding our higher purposes, finding our better selves, learning what it is that we can learn in a higher institution. I thought, how appropriate to lead by example, and been doing with your daughters. That's what you're doing right now in this show. Today, you're sharing with us how you have made choices your whole life. You made choices long ago that you were going to be a worldwide servant, that you were going to take these gifts that you have been given and have come through you and do something with them. And you've spent most of your life learning and growing and actually putting this all into play. And so as we start to, let's see, we've got so many people. It's kind of funny. Everybody's here commenting and everything. And one of the things is that Rayanne had said that she was coming in and she was just saying hi, but then she's now with us still, and she says, I cannot see my mom right now, but I feel each other deeply. And I want to recognize, without going into detail, but there's a lot of people that have been separated because of those that have even, there might be because of geographics. It might be because they might be in a medical situation right now, because, that's real. There are a lot of people that may be in the hospital. There may be a lot of people that are being told to quarantine in place. That means you cannot see anybody else because of that. And this is happening throughout the world. And what you've shared just right now, I think is very beautiful. And I'd like to just one more time go over that, because I think we need to hear, many times I say you need to hear something quite a few times to really have it be absorbed. The fact that we are not isolated and alone during this period of time, unless for some reason internally we're believing we are. So one more time, just kind of share what you just shared, because that is absolutely one of the most beautiful things that I've heard in a long time.
Oh, thank you. I truly believe that, when you see life from a different perspective, you see that we are all connected. And on the highest level, I know that sounds a little woo woo, and how can we be connected right now when we're all in isolation and we're separated? But we're all energy, and we all come from this beautiful source of energy. And so that source is within you, and that source is there to bring out to the world, right? And you and I are connected, and the craziest thing in the world, and this is a perfect example, your relationship and my relationship is a perfect example that there's no separation. We live probably 45 minutes away from each other and have not seen each other in the physical state of California. We have flown to Chicago, and we have flown to Florida to see each other, but throughout the year, for a whole year, we have been connected almost every single week with Chemo Buddies
Right,
for Life, and planning it, and the team, before we even met each other, before, whether
right,
it was the next impact or the year before that, or this last year with Chemo Buddies for Life, nobody met each other, right? And
right.
we were in love with each other. We were
Mm-hmm.
supporting each other. We knew about each other's lives. We knew about
Right.
what was going on personally with each other, because we
Mm-hmm.
connected on a deeper level. And physically, we had never been together until the next impactor, or the conference in Florida. And
Right.
so when you take a step back and say, wow, I really am connected.
I love her.
And we were
Thank you
together,
for
but
that.
yes, it is good. We are all energy. And so, on a higher level, you can love from your soul, and you can love without physically being in contact with each other. I love you through the screen. I love Rayanne. I love Carolyn. I love Helen. Helene. I love everybody that's on here, because why? I have spent and cultivated a relationship with them. Hey, Christopher, and he's one of them. We have
Yes.
cultivated relationships without even being physically close. And that's what
Right.
I want to stress, is that you can still cultivate relationships. There's no separation. The separation is within you. And if you just pivot your thinking and think, how can I connect with somebody today? I promise you that you will be able to connect. If you ask God, source, the universe, whatever your belief system is, the higher power that is, to connect with somebody today, I promise you, if you're open to the opportunities, they will come. And you and I are perfect examples of, we have never physically connected other than 2 times, and we love each other dearly, and haven't, and we probably know each other's, intimate things that are going on in our lives, right?
Right.
And so,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. And thank you for sharing that, and everybody that's here, hashtag live, hashtag replay, thank you for being here with us, because this is what this is all about, is connection right now. And yes, Chemo Buddies for Life, our tag is healing through connections. And how appropriate is that for this time right now, here and now, on April the 15th, 2020, that connection is what is going to truly help us heal and heal our bodies, heal our minds, heal our emotions. And yes, what is it going to look like? Well, be honest, guys, who knows? It's going to be different for each of us. However, the thing with Chemo Buddies for Life, which we deal with people that are affected by cancer, the thing we talk about is that this period of time doesn't have to define us. This is not the full book. This is a period of time. And this, yes, is a big, huge period of time, but it's a matter of how we are going to navigate through this period of time, that what it will look like on the other side. And for each of us, it could actually, like I share in my particular story, the Tamara I was before cancer and the Tamara I was post cancer, my new normal, I like this Tamara a lot more. I like her a lot more. And many people can say that they can, it's like, okay, yeah, was I excited about the experience? But would I change it? No, absolutely never. Because I would never be here right now with you, Noelle, and everybody that I love, and we would not be sharing the year or decade that I declared yesterday of love and helping so many people that need this help. So as we start to close right now, Noelle, what would you, like if you could give people, you've already given them a lot of thoughts and how they can go about it. But like, if you were to say, okay, I want you to do this today, what would that be and how would that look like?
Well, there are four components. It's your body, it's your mind, it's your environment around your physical space around you, and then it's your spirituality, right? And so, ask yourself in all four of those components. How can I just make a better choice with my body today? Whether it's either take a walk or exercise from home. Now there's so many programs online that you can exercise 15, 20 minutes on. How can I make a better choice with food today, right? Start with your body, because your body and your mind biochemically go hand in hand, right? And then your thoughts. And so the thoughts that you have in your head, get out of your head, whether it's writing, whether it's singing, whether it's do something creative with the thoughts that are going on in your head. If you can get outside, go outside. Nature, without question, instantly changes the serotonin and the dopamine and the oxytocin that comes from your gut up to your brain as soon as you step into nature. Literally, it can. If you can't, open your blinds, get some fresh air, stop watching the news and Netflix. Get out of your pajamas, take a shower, shave your legs, look pretty, right?
Yes.
Yeah, like, honestly, it's you are not a victim. You are not a victim. And then the next is your environment, right? You know me, I'm a clean freak, right? Why am I a clean freak? Because when you have organization in your life, your mind can be organized. When you have clutter around you, that's energetic clutter that literally you're drawing into your life. So how can you take this time to make your body better? How can you take this time to make your thoughts better? What can you do that's creative? What are your gifts? Find out who you are and who you love. What can you do to clean up your environment? Guys, your home, if your house is not clean by now, like, you got to evaluate what's going on within you. If your life is not in order right now, you've had 3 weeks, 5 weeks to get your life in order. This is an opportunity. God's giving you a gift, not a victim. You're not a victim. It's a gift to you. And spiritually, this is extremely important to me, and it might not be to others, but maybe you don't believe in God, maybe you don't believe in the universe, but there's a better version of you out there waiting for you to connect to. And this is every opportunity for you to do that.
I love that, and I can attest to that because of and anybody that hasn't seen the 36-hour give-a-thon where Noelle gave me the gift that she did during that experience, it's on this page. It's on the Chemo Buddies for Life page. go check it out. I'm not sure. Oh, and it's on the cb4l.org. I believe that transferred over when we opened up our beta site, which is so exciting. Thank you, Tony Amanetti, that for that, something that we've been working on for so long, and we decided to go ahead as it was built, as it is right now. It's not necessarily what we wanted it to look like when we went live, but we went live with it because of the here and now. People need to know that they're not alone. And the fact that you brought that up today so clearly, in that it does. We need to start within ourselves. And when we can be good in ourselves, and then we reach out to others, because it's that sometimes, and we have to allow ourselves the grace too, because sometimes it's that teeter totter. We're working on ourselves, but then we're having a bad day and we need a little help. It's okay to reach out. You said reach out. It is okay, because we all are in this together. And so if someone was to say, okay, I love what you're doing, I'm in California, or, how do I find you? Do you mind sharing your contact information in the comments? But if they have a pen and paper ready to go right now, how do they get a hold of you?
Sure, and you don't have to be in California. My clients are all over the world. I literally have clients in Bali. I have clients in Europe. I mean, everything that I do that's not my retreats or trainings is remote, and so everything I have done in the last 5 weeks have pivoted to being online. So noelleagape.com is where you can find me. That's my website. On Instagram, I'm Noelle_Agape, and on Facebook I am Noelle Agape Love. So.
And if you guys haven't figured it out yet, what does agape mean, Noelle?
It's unconditional love for all mankind.
And why is your first name Noelle?
My first name is Noelle because I'm born on Christmas Day, and so my name, if you put Noelle, Agape, it's joy and peace, which is Christmas, and then unconditional love. So that's what I bring. That's what I hope to bring to mankind. So.
So guys, now you see why today we have a double header show, because when we had, and John Duffy is up in just a little over an hour and 2 minutes. His show will be on and we had him scheduled, but we decided to do a double show day because of what is happening in our world, and this woman that is joy and love, that is willing to get out there during this period of time where we need an abundance of it. We need to tap into it within ourselves, knowing that it's there, and then have that share with others. So as we close today, April the 15th, 2020, for the Service Hero Show, 365 days of awesome. Celebrate success through service. Noelle Agape, I want to thank you for being the serious service hero that you are, and revisiting with us today and sharing what it is that we can do within ourselves to be a service hero, because we all have a service hero inside of us. And this is a time more than ever that we need to tap into that, and for ourselves be a service hero, and then reach out to someone else and be a service hero too, because in joining our love together, that unconditional love and joy that we have shared this last hour, we can actually literally change the frequency of this world and heal it much faster, one person at a time, right?
Yep, it starts with you.
Starts with you. I love it. All right. Well, I love you, dear. I'm so grateful that we got to spend today together in this hour. Go out there and make it a wonderful day there in Pennsylvania, and with all the people that you are affecting. Thank you for taking on the role of helping people within our home state, because it's so many need you. All right. Have a great day.
I love you. Thank you.
I love you too. And everybody else, show back up for John Duffy in an hour. Bye.